Hello everyone, welcome back. Today in this tutorial, I am trying to explaining about the problem is reverse a string by frequency. So in last video, I already explained about reverse a string. We have in three ways we can reverse a given string. So first one is by using reverse method. Second one is by using new string. We can take blank string, then we can iterate from end to begin, then we can append corresponding characters. Third one is by using swapping logic. So in interview round, reverse method is not recommended. Why? Because interviewer is testing your logical knowledge. So that's what they are not satisfied with reverse method. Of course, at the time of development, you can use this reverse method. So to reverse a string if it is any requirement. Otherwise, at the time of interview, reverse method is not recommended. And moreover, that new string, here I explained time complexity and space complexity. What is the problem with by taking new blank string? And recommended one is swapping. So I explained with in detail with an example in tracing part also. So if you did not watch that video, watch that video. Why? Because this reverse string by frequency, 50% solution depends on this reverse string. So that's what I'm saying. First learn reverse a given string, then start learning reverse a string by frequency. Now let me try to explain what is reverse a string by frequency with an example. So imagine I have input string called Java coding. So how many, what is the length, how many characters and what is the length of the string? So if we can consider this is the given input string, so the length will be, I think here Java is 4, coding is 6, I think 10. So if our frequency count is 5, what is the reverse technique? Reverse string by frequency result. Let me try to show you that. So frequency count is 5, right? So in that case, we need to reverse first to 5 characters like up to C with reverse like C A V A J. First to 5 characters. Next remaining 5 characters like G N I D and O. So this is the first to 5, remaining 5. Why? Because here if we can observe here 10 divides by 5 we will get 0 reminder. So that's what first 5 last 5. Imagine one different scenario. Frequency count is 4. In that case if we can observe here 10 divides by 4 we will get remainder is 2. So these two characters also we need to reverse. This is the special case. Now if I can write that reverse logic with 4 characters, first 4 characters will be A V A J. So next 4 characters will be I D O C. I D O C. Remaining 2 will be N and G, right? These two also we need to reverse. So this is the special case. G N. We try to take some different color. G N. Next, if I can take frequency count is 3. Here if we can observe the length will be 10, right? 10 by 3 I will get remainder as a 1. 3 is 9, right? So this one character, we don't need to reverse. In that case what it will be the reverse string? Let me try to show you. So first 3 characters like V A J. Next remaining 3 characters like OCA. OCA. Next remaining 3 characters. So OCA is done. NID. NIT. Next last one is, anyway it is G, right? Only one correct. We don't need to reverse. So this is about some different scenarios you need to remember. So if it is absolutely divisible by length, frequency count is divisible by length, there is no problem. We can reverse all. First 5, last 5 in this case. If it is 4, we need to, remainder will be 2. These two also we need to consider to reverse. If it remainder will be 1, in this case if the frequency count is 3, so we don't need to reverse for last character. So this is the problem statement. Now let me try to write pseudo code for this problem first. So for given input string, I am trying to consider str as a same string, Java coding. So I will convert this string into character array, str dot to char array. Next one, I am trying to use for loop for traversing the, I mean, element by frequency, and one more constant, frequency count. Frequency count I am trying to provide 3. So next, these are the inputs. I am using one for loop. So I am starting with, I mean, initialization is 0. Next condition will be length, str dot length. Here I need to provide condition, right, for variable I. So first I need to specify that variable I less than str dot length. So next, here one important point, our frequency count is 3, right? Instead of I plus plus, what I am trying to do, I equal to I plus frequency count. So this is the first point you need to remember. Next one is, I am trying to find, we need to traverse, I mean, reverse first 3 characters, right? In that case, what I am trying to do, so first I will find starting index. Starting index I am trying to assign I value. Next one is ending index. Ending index I am trying to consider. So here most of the programmers will fail, so directly they will use end index will be I plus 3. If they used here, instead of I plus frequency count, they will declare I plus plus, and here they can use ending index will be I plus 3. If we can write the logic like this, you will get index out of bound exception. So I will explain at the time of writing code in IDE what is the problem here. So instead of this, this is not recommended. So what we need to do now, instead of that, first we need to, I mean, index is starting from 0, right? So for that we need to minus 1. So what I am trying to do, so moreover that, we need to consider all these 3 scenarios at the time of finding ending index. And starting index, anyway it will start from 0, right? But ending index, we need to consider all these 3 different scenarios. So for that, I am trying to use math dot minimum value I am trying to consider. Here I am trying to build the logic. So I plus frequency count minus 1. Second parameter is I am trying to pass str dot length minus 1. So I will explain. So for first parameter, so for calculating the, here if we can use this I plus 3, I mean, first one is 0. Second one is, if I can pass like I plus 3, I mean, I is, imagine I value is 0. So 0 plus 3, 0, 3. Characters will be 4 characters, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. These 4 characters we need to reverse, but our target is only 3. So we want up to 2 only, right? So that's what here I'm trying to specify. I'm trying to explain initial iteration, I mean first iteration. So 0 plus 3, it will be 4 characters. Instead of that, I am trying to subtract minus 1. So to consider that, this is the logic. I don't want, I mean, we need to subtract minus 1. Why? Because index is starting from 0. That is first point. Second one is, so if I can go to here, for taking considering these scenarios, first last two, I mean last one, 0, this kind of, right? If I did not handle this one, it will go to beyond that. Length will be, imagine here in this case 10, right? It will go to frequency count is 5, right? Next 5, 15, 15, or here in this case 14, like this it will go. So we will get index out of bound exception. To handle that situation, we can consider up to length minus 1. If your string is 10, we can consider up to 19. If your string length is 15, we can consider up to 14. Even though this I plus plus count will be greater than this length count, we can consider up to length minus 1 here. That is to handle index out of bound exception, we can consider this length. So this is the major part of the logic. So next what I am trying to do, remaining. So here I can reuse that logic, this logic, whatever it may be inside while loop. So that's what I am saying here. So please watch previous video, reverse a given string, then start learning this reverse string by frequency. So what I am trying to do, I can write one utility method, reverse. Reverse of, I can pass start index, end index, character array, whatever I converted here. So character array, this is the logic. Now I need to build this utility method reverse. Anyway, I can reuse this while loop. So here I can write a reverse. So I can take this starting index, ending index, character array, whatever I can pass previously. I mean here at the time of calling. So next the same logic, whatever I can explain. I mean I explained on previous video, right? Same logic I can use. I mean swapping. So first I need to declare character array C. I mean character variable C. I can store starting index of character array. Next I can assign to starting index of character array to character array of ending index character. Next one is character array of ending index. I am trying to assign previously stored temporary character. So this is the utility logic. Whatever I can pass here, I mean I am trying to call, right? So here one we need to handle plus plus minus minus. Otherwise it will go to infinite loop. So this is the logic. So if you can observe here, main logic exists here only. If you can understand this line, you can write the solution for problem like reverse testing by using frequency count. So this content anyway I explained on previous video, just a swapping logic. So if you can learn this problem, I mean this code snippet, so you can write solution for two problems. So one shot two words like reverse string and reverse string by frequency. If you can understand this one, absolutely you can write the solution. So now let me try to write solution in IDE. So first I am trying to declare one string. I'm trying to provide value as Java coding. And next one is frequency count. I'm trying to provide value is 3. And the next one is I'm trying to convert that string into to char array. I mean character array we converted. Now I'm trying to use for loop. So to iterate, I equal to 0, I less than string dot length, and I equal to I plus frequency count. So this is the first point you need to remember when you are writing solution for reverse string by frequency. So inside that for loop I am trying to find start index and end index. Between that range only we need to reverse. Start index is I am trying to assign I, and the next one is end index. End index, so most of the people will write like I plus 3. So here we will get index out of bound exception. Why? Because so at last iteration it will go to beyond that length. So if the length is 10, I mean last I mean if the string length is I mean 10, here in this case it will go to up to 9, right? If the I value is 9, it will go to 12. So in that case we have only characters 10, but we are trying to access 12. So this is the I mean loophole. We need to handle this situation. So we need to maintain minimum value. I mean it will go to beyond that length. We need to find minimum value will be at most length minus 1. So to handle that situation, first we need to find the minimum value. So for that I am trying to use min of. So first one is, so first parameter I am trying to provide I plus frequency count minus 1. So why? Because I already explained at the time of explaining in whiteboard. So if the frequency count is 3, if I can move like this, it will reverse 4 characters. Why? Because index is starting from 0. So to handle that situation, we need to subtract -1. So this is the first parameter. Second parameter is, so to handle the index out of bound exception. So if the for loop will be iterate, imagine 5 times. So 4 times the value will be considered this one. So at fifth iteration, it may be considered this second parameter. Why? Because it will move to, imagine I already explained, right? So our target here, we have characters with, I mean 10 characters, right? So if I can follow like this, I plus frequency count 3, it will iterate 3 times. So last character will be the right. So for that it will be 9 plus 12. 9 plus 3 means 12. So in that case, I don't want this, I mean 12. So in that case, I am trying to find minimum of these two. So length anyway. So if I can subtract, I mean length -1, definitely this is the length of string. That's why I am trying to avoid index out of bound exception. So if you want, I will show you I plus 3. If I can follow like this. Now I need to, I am trying to show first negative scenario, index out of bound exception, then I will, I uncomment this. So next I am trying to build one utility method, reverse. It is expecting 3 parameters, start index, end index, and character array. So inside this, I am trying to build swapping logic, whatever I explained on previous video. So while start index is less than end index, start index is end index. Inside this, I am trying to build swapping logic. So first I am trying to store 0th index character in temporary variable. So character array of start index. Now I can assign that start index to end index character. So next, for that end index, I can assign previously stored temporary character. So finally, I need to handle increment and decrement. Otherwise, it will go to infinite loop. So once the reversing is done, I mean reverse is done by frequency, I am trying to print the string. I mean I am trying to convert that character array into string by using a string with character. I mean it is expecting, I mean string constructor which is expecting character array to convert character array into string. So here if we can observe that, so index out of bound exception, index 12, out of bounds of length 10. So it is moving to 10, I mean 12, but the length will be 10 only. So this is the situation. Here exactly we are trying to get index out of bound exception. So here means I am trying to pass the value here, right? Inside this, wherever I am trying to access here, here it is getting. So to handle this situation, we need to find the minimum of I plus frequency count -1, finally length -1. So one conclusion I can say here, so if the for loop will iterate 4 times, first 3 times it will be considered first value, last iteration it will consider length -1. So to handle that last iteration we can use this length -1. So if I can run now, I won't get any index out of bound exception. So frequency count is 3, right? VAJ and OCA and IDO, sorry, VAJ, next one is OCA, next one is NID, right? So NID, last character is, I think we are not, I mean we don't need to reverse. If I can pass frequency count is 5. Now five characters, and our length is 10, right? So first five will be, I think, up to C. So CAVAJ. Now GNIDO. So same, we are getting expected result. So if I can pass different string, we try to execute. So programming length will be, when 3 3 3, I think 11. So we are trying to pass 5, right? I think last, that's what I mean, last character is 5 5. It is I mean reversing. Last character is, it is not able to reverse. Why? Because that is not required. So if I can pass frequency count is, instead of that, I can use small word only, coding, and the frequency count I am trying to pass 8. So in that case also we need to handle, I mean we need to reverse. So the length of coding will be 6, but I am trying to pass frequency count is 8. So in this is also one of the different scenario we need to handle. So here I mean solution is working as expected. Even though frequency count is greater than that length, it is reversing. So in this case all character is reversed. Why? Because frequency count is greater than that string, that's why it is reversing all characters. So this is the solution for reverse a string by frequency. So if you find the content is valuable and you like the content, hit on like button and subscribe Programming KT. Thanks for watching.